What we're going to do today is on your screen, page 222, divide mixed numbers by fractions. So it's really similar to what we've been doing. It just has an extra step in the beginning. Look at page 222. Carol has 2.5 pounds of nuts. How many 1/4 pound bags can she fill? To find the number of 1/4 pound bags, divide 2.5 by 1/4. So steps first, of course. We're going to try to simplify the steps a little bit so you're not writing too much. So steps. Step 1, rename the mixed number as an improper fraction. Okay, so remember that's when you're turning the mixed number into a number or fraction that the top is bigger than the bottom. 2, I'm gonna try to make it less complicated than what your book says. Your book says multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor. I'm just gonna put flip the second fraction. Flip the second fraction. Simplify with the GCF. Multiply. And then the last one is rename as whole or mixed number as needed. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute or two to copy those down, then we're going to do some practice with them. The only thing different this time is the first step. This time we're going to rename the mixed number as an improper fraction. Then the rest is what you've been doing all along. Flip the second one, simplify, multiply. Some of you are still giving me your answers where the top number is bigger than the bottom. You can't do that. You have to change it over into a mixed number or a whole number. Okay, so go ahead and get these down. Then we're going to practice them. So there's 5 steps I want you to write. Make sure you get those down. They are in your book, but these are a little more simple for you. Addie, you have a question?
Please don't erase it. I just got in. I didn't see the thing come up that you posted this.
Okay. Get them down real quick and then we'll go.
Wait, what's it called?
Divide mixed numbers by fractions. Okay, so I'm gonna give everybody a minute to copy those down. In science today, you're just going to fill in the notes for that last section. We kind of read it together on Friday, and you guys read it and did the questions on Friday, so we're not going to really do too much with that today. All you're going to do is start doing the notes for it. It's real short. I think it's like 1 page. Then tomorrow you have your vocab test for the words that we did before spring break, all the rock words. On Friday is your math test, and then that's it this week for me. Next week we'll have our science test, so the end of this week sometime I'll give you your study guide so you can get started on that. Braylon, question?
Yes, ma'am. So wouldn't this just be similar to the dividing fractions by whole numbers?
Yeah, it's really similar. You're doing the same
Because
thing.
they're all,
huh?
yeah. So what is the point of learning 3 different types of
Because
ways
you're gonna
if
have
we
to
know
do
it's
whatever
just gonna be
problem you get. So any kind of division problem you get, you need to know how to solve it.
okay?
Addie,
What do you mean by simplify with GCF?
that's the cross simplifying we've been doing.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm still not done. I have like a few more.
Okay, just give me a thumbs up when you're done, okay?
Okay.
We're gonna give Addie another minute or so to get these down. She'll be done in just a minute. And then we're gonna get some down. If you wanna go ahead and write down the problem, it's gonna be 2.5 divided by 1/4. And you can try it on your own if you want to until I get there. See if you can do it on your own. All right, so I'm gonna clear this out. Addie's finished copying hers. I want you to write 2.5 divided by 1/4. Okay. So the first step is to rename the mixed number as a fraction greater than 1. And if you forgot how to do that, it's where you multiply 2 times 2 plus 1. So you get 5/2. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus the 1 we have up here is 5. And we put it back over the bottom number. So 5/2. Then we multiply by the reciprocal. So we flip the second number and make it 4/1. Okay, so let's recap what we did so far. I took the first fraction and made it into an improper fraction, 5/2. Then I put my multiplication symbol and flipped the second fraction. Then it's all the same from there. We can cross simplify 4 and 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Then we multiply. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 1 is 1. And we just leave that as 10. Okay, so she can have 10 1/4 pound bags, or you can just say 10 bags. Okay, so get that down real quick. I'm trying to get Christian. I see your hand. Christian, any question?
Why do we keep learning like the same thing but in like different ways? Like the
'Cause the one-
reciprocal
like
and flip
this
it and
one-
multiply.
Is different because you have mixed numbers. Last week was different because you had a whole number on the second side. It's just showing you all the different ways you'll get it, because sometimes the numbers will be on different sides. So on your test, it'll just kind of be mixed up. And then we'll practice that this week too, where I'll give you maybe a sheet of some that are mixed up and you'll solve it. We're gonna skip the part in your book that's about estimating, because that's really not important right now. And then we'll do one more session Wednesday on dividing mixed numbers, which is the same thing we just did here, except it's on the other side. All right, so let's do another practice one. Let's do 5 1/3 divided by 3/5. Okay, so the first thing we do is change the 5 1/3 into a mixed number. Not a mixed number, an improper fraction. So 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. So we put 16/3. Then we multiply by the reciprocal. So instead of 3/5, I put 5/3. Now for this one, we can't do any kind of cross simplifying. You might see 16 and 3 and think you can simplify, but I can't divide 3 by anything except 3, and 16 can't be divided by 3. Same thing with 3 and 5. They can't be divided by a same number. So all we can do right here is multiply. 16 times 5 is 80. 3 times 3 is 9. Now look at that. A lot of you are leaving your answers like that. You can't leave your answer like that. You have to divide 9 into 80. Okay, 9 goes into 80 8 times. 9 times 8 is 72. When you subtract that, you get 8. So then this is where we do our little circle thing. We start with 8 as our whole number. That 8 is our numerator. 9 is our denominator. 8 and 8/9. Okay, so this one's a little different because you couldn't cross simplify. There is no simplifying for this. The only thing you do at the end of this one is you're going to make it into a mixed number. You have to stop leaving your answers where the top number is bigger than the bottom. Okay, we can't do that. That was only in one little portion we did where I was trying to teach you how to make those numbers. So from now on, everything has to be in mixed number form. All right, I see some hands up. Let me get those real quick, and then we'll go try some more. Tejal?
So for our homework, can we just write it as the mixed number and then multiply it by the reciprocal already changed?
Yeah, if you want to skip some steps and make it a little bit quicker, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, let me see if I have any more hands raised. It's hard to tell on here if you don't see it pop up. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so let's do another one. And then I might let you try some on your own. So let's do 2 1/3 divided by 1/6. First things first, we need to change 2 1/3 into an improper fraction. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So I have 7/3 times 6/1. And what Tasia was asking is basically if you can skip that step of rewriting it like I do. If you can skip that step in your head and go ahead and just write it like this, then that's fine. Do what works for you. Some of you can do it in your head like that. Some of you can't. Either way is fine. I prefer to write it out just so I can make sure I got all my steps. Okay, we can cross simplify here. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Then we multiply. 7 times 2 is 14 over 1 times 1 is 1. So our answer is just 14. I don't count it wrong if you leave it as 14/1, but it is better to remember to go ahead and start doing just the whole number as it is by itself. Okay, so get that one down. I'm going to give you one to try on your own, and then we'll go over it together, and then give you another one to try on your own, and then I'll let you go do your classwork for the day. Not classwork today. I'm going to call it classwork, but it's a homework grade. I'm going to see how you can do first before I actually give you a letter grade on it. But you guys are doing great, so it should be okay. 1.5 divided by 9/10. Okay, I want you to do that one on your own. Practice that one, then we're going to do it together. So remember your steps. You should be getting to the point now where this is pretty much like second nature. You know what to do because we've been doing it for like 2 weeks. Looks like I got some people still working. I'm gonna give you about another minute or so. All right, looks like we're good. So first thing you should have done is made 1.5 into an improper fraction. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So you have 3 over 2 times 10 over 9. Now this is one of those good ones where you can reduce both ways. I like these because you get a simplified multiplication answer and it's just an easier way to do it. So let's start here. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So we get, let me make sure I got the right one for you. Hold on. Your book is telling me something different. No, it's not. Okay, we're good. So 5 times 1 is 5. 3 times 1 is 3. Don't leave it like that. 3 goes into 5 one time. 5 minus 3 is 2. So your answer is 1 2/3. Okay? All right, I'm gonna let you do one more, and then I wanna go ahead and just look at the next page. That way I can give it to you tomorrow to try. That way we have more days of reviewing, so that Wednesday we're not starting something new and then only having one day to review. So we're gonna do one more on here, then I'm gonna get you to turn the page. Okay, so try this one. 1 1/4 divided by 3/8. Okay, try that one. Then we're going to do the next little lesson. It's the same as this, it's just kind of flipped around. Braylon.
What do you mean flipped around? Like it's not going to be divided by mixed numbers. It's going to be dividing fractions by mixed numbers.
It'll be something like maybe 3/8 divided by 1/4. The mixed number on the other side, it's the same thing.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go over it real quick, and then I'll let you guys work on that part tomorrow. Christian?
So, wait, are we gonna do classwork today?
Yeah, it's gonna be a homework grade, but you still have some work to do, yeah.
Yeah, is it gonna be on
Specifically-
this lesson or the other tiny lesson?
This one.
Okay.
And then the other stuff we'll do tomorrow.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and remind you of some stuff we talked about in our meeting this morning. We had an 8 o'clock meeting with Mr. Robbie. You got an email Friday saying that book return will be on May 22nd. I don't know how we'll do it yet. I think you have to sign up for times because only like a few people can come at a time. Then you'll bring your books and stuff. One important thing I want to tell you guys is to remember to bring your library book, okay? Because that's something we kind of don't think about because we ended school so abruptly with being in school. So as you start to kind of get your stuff ready to bring back to school, make sure you bring your library books back to Miss Birch because she was saying this morning there's over 100 books out between all the grades, which is a lot of books. So we need to make sure we get any kind of library books back to her. Any books you borrowed from me, just make sure you bring those back. When you come on May 22nd, you'll just bring all your textbooks and workbooks back, and then you'll clean out your locker, take any kind of personal stuff home. So when you come, just make sure you bring like a box or a bag or something you can carry all your stuff in. You really shouldn't have too much to bring home from your locker or the classroom because you took so much home already. So just keep that in mind towards the next couple weeks. You have 19 school days left. And then on May 22nd, you'll sign up with me for a time and you'll come and bring your stuff back. just make sure you bring everything back, agenda, all that, any kind of workbooks, and especially your library books. And then you can clean out your locker and get all that stuff out. And anything in the classroom, like pencils that you had left, any kind of personal stuff, you can grab that then too. Braylon?
Do you remember the last day we were at school?
Let me look real quick. It was like the
I thought it was a
30th.
Friday.
It was. It was March 13th. March 13th. So we've been out almost a month and a half. So just remember, you can kind of make a pile in your house of anything you need to bring back. Anything like that works. Gabrielle?
Do we need to bring journals for y'all to check?
No, I mean, not unless Miss Miller or Miss Browder want that, but I don't need that.
Okay.
Let's see. Keller, hold on, I'm trying to find your thing. There we go. Keller.
Are we gonna have a book fair this year? Or
I think she's trying to work on having one online since we obviously can't do it at school. So you can order stuff online this year, maybe. I think she's trying to get that out, but don't get your hopes up in case it doesn't work. They're also making sure they get the yearbook stuff up this week so you can order that online as well. And then I don't know if that's shipped or if it's picked up or anything like that, but that should be coming out later this week. Miss Birch is working on that. Destiny, question?
What if we left our book at school
Then I'll just
when we went to go get our textbooks?
Then when you come and get the rest of your stuff, you can just help me find it. That way I can mark it off. Is it in your locker?
Okay.
Yeah. When you guys come, if you can just, I mean, if you left some stuff there, that's fine too. Just kind of help me find it that day. That way I can make sure that I have everybody marked off. Okay. Destiny won't let me mute you back. Hold on. Who did I just unmute? Parker, do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Are we gonna have summer care this year?
Are you gonna have what?
Summer camp this year.
Like for reading?
No, I mean like, are we gonna have summer care, like where everybody goes?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
summer care.
Extended care, or not extended care, summer camp thing. It starts on May 18th here,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're having it. And you guys will have summer work and stuff too. I'll get to you whenever they tell me to do it. So it'll be just like all the other times in summer where you have reading and math and all that for summer. And they still have summer camp going on. Hopefully we can have some reading camps. I think you guys, though, for reading camp, you'll go to Miss Sutherland this year. So she'll be getting information to you on that one. Okay. It's not letting me, yeah, it is, okay. It's telling me that it's not letting me mute some of you. All right, let's go through and solve this real quick, and then I'm gonna go on to the next thing with you. On this one, 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So you have 5 over 4 times 8 over 3. Simplify, 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract it, we get 1. So your final answer is 3 1/3. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. Flip over in your book to 224. flip over in your book to 224. This I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do, and then you're going to do this tomorrow. So you're not doing this part today, you're doing it tomorrow. It is pretty much exactly the same as what we just did, except the mixed numbers on the other side. So for one like this, they'll give you 7.5 divided by 2.5. So all you do is change them to improper fractions and then do everything we've been doing. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15 over 2, times 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1. So this would equal 5 over 2 if we were doing it normally, right? 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5 over 2, but we need to flip that. So when we flip it, we get 2 over 5. So if you didn't get that, look again. You're making each number an improper fraction. So I did 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15 over 2, times 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, that's 5 over 2. I need to flip that though when I multiply. Then I reduce. 2 divided by 2 is 1, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1, 15 divided by 5 is 3. Then you multiply, 3 times 1 is 3, 1 times 1 is 1, you get 3. So that'll be pretty much the extent of one of the harder ones you'll get, where you make both numbers an improper fraction. Just remember the second fraction you have to flip. So even when you got 5 over 2 for this one, you still have to flip it to 2 over 5. Okay? Make sure you always flip the second fraction no matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's a whole number, a mixed number, a regular fraction, whatever. Just make sure that you flip it. Okay, I'm going to do another couple with you, and then I'll get some questions from you. So if you have a question, hold on and see if I answer it in the next couple of practice ones, and then I'll let you guys go do today's work. Science, there's really nothing to talk about today since you're doing the notes. Okay, so let's do one like this. 7 1/5 divided by 9. So if you wanted to go ahead and write that one as 9 over 1, you could, because remember you have to put whole numbers over 1. It makes it a little bit easier. For the mixed number, let's flip or make it improper. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 1 is 36. Put it back over the 5. Put our multiplication symbol down. And then we flip 9 over 1 to 1 over 9. Then we can simplify. 9 divided by 9 is 1. 36 divided by 9 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. 5 times 1 is 5. So we get 4/5. That one is honestly kind of what you're doing today. So what they kind of do in the book is split everything up so that it is manageable to learn. What this lesson kind of does is put everything we've done all together. Let's do one like this. 16 divided by 1 1/3. So this would be the same thing where I need to go ahead and put 16 over 1. Now on this one, there's nothing to make improper on 16 over 1. I would just leave 16 over 1 times. Now look at 1 1/3, that's a mixed number. So I make that an improper fraction. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So that equals 4/3. But when I multiply by the reciprocal, I need to flip those. So I get 3/4. Okay, so the only thing different on this one is you're going to take that mixed number, you're going to make it into an improper fraction, Then you're going to flip that improper fraction. So it's just an extra step there. All right, let's simplify. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Then we can multiply. 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 1 is 1 equals just 12. Okay, so you guys can do this. It's just taking everything we've learned so far and putting it together. I'm going to give you a couple to practice on this one real quick. I won't take too much longer. And then this you'll do tomorrow, okay? So this stuff we just started will be your classwork tomorrow. I just wanted to get you started on it so that we didn't waste another day, since you guys are doing pretty well with this. Try this one on your own. 7 1/5 divided by 9. Try that one on your own, and then we're going to do it together. Angel, you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. So we convert the second number into the reciprocal one, right?
Right, always the second one.
Okay.
Braylon, you have a question?
No, I did before, but now I don't remember what I was talking about. So, no, I don't.
If you remember, just let me know. Let's do this one together. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 1 is 36 over 5. When you multiply by the reciprocal of 9 over 1 would be 1 over 9. Okay? Then let's simplify. 9 divided by 9 is 1. 36 divided by 9 is 4. When we multiply, 4 times 1 is 4. 5 times 1 is 5. So we get 4/5. 4/5 on that one. Let me give you another one, and then this one, if you can do this one, you can do all of them. I'm going to give you 2 that are mixed numbers. So do 3 3/4 divided by 1 1/4. Okay, this will be the last one we do. So try this one on your own, then we're going to do it together. Then I'll get you started on today's assignment. Addie?
Yes, Miss Clark.
Uh-huh.
What? So wait, what are we? I mean, are you going for summer camp? Are you? Are we gonna? How are we gonna do it?
What do you mean?
Like the camps?
Well, we have to kind of wait on what happens first. That's why I'm saying I'm not sure if there's going to be a reading camp. I hope there is. But we kind of have to wait to see what the virus does, whether it gets better or worse, too.
No. Yes. Thank you.
I hope we can do it, though. Christian?
So is it just gonna be the learning camps? for the summer?
Regular summer camp where they do, like where the kids come every day and stuff. They have that.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't know. We're still kind of watching because up until last week, we didn't know what schools were going to do either. So we just watch it and hope and pray that it does get better. Tasia?
Wait, so are we still going to do for the locker time and when we're gonna pick up all our stuff? So we have to allot time? So we have to get into a time and space?
I think so. Miss Liz is going to tell us all the rules on that. I think it can only be a certain number of people together at one time. So just to make sure we're not getting people who are sick or people who, other people in the class and stuff like that, just to make sure nobody's kind of getting too crowded, I guess. Okay.
And also, for the yearbook, has she sent an email yet? Do you know?
And I think they're finishing setting it up this week, and then you should get an email from Ms. Becky.
Okay.
All right, let's do this one. So 3 3/4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15 over 4. For 1 1/4, let's change that over to a mixed number first. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So for that one, I get 5/4. So when I flip it, I'm going to multiply by 4 over 5. I would suggest kind of writing this out to the side just to help you out. This one's a good one with the cross reducing. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Then we can multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 is your answer. Okay, so that's it. What you'll be doing today for classwork, homework, grade, whatever, I'm going to unlock it right now so that I can make sure it's unlocked for you guys and then tell you what it is. Because I kind of forgot what I put up there. Let's see. You're going to do today page 223, 4 through 11. Page 223, 4 through 11 is 2 rows of those problems. And the first rows are always the easiest anyways. So I'm going to unlock it for you. It's unlocked and ready to go. Your science today is, like we said earlier, the fill in the blank notes. So you should be ready and set. Tomorrow, you'll do practice with what we just did with the mixed number by mixed number here. Then Wednesday and Thursday we'll review. Friday we'll take a test. Next week we're going to start on some new stuff that you're going to need to know for next year. Okay? So that's where we are. Tomorrow is your science vocab test. Then we're going to review and stuff the rest of this week for your test. I'm looking at your test maybe being Monday or Tuesday next week. I'll let you know which day. And then we'll move on from there. I think we go weather next. So I'm going to unmute you. And if you have any questions, you can ask. If you don't, you're free to go and start working.
Sydney.
Any questions you can ask. If you don't have any, you can go.
What time is the math?
Math what?
What time is the math due?
Tomorrow at 4.
Later.
The one from Friday is due today at 4.
Wait, Tristan, are you still on?
Yeah, why?
Are you going back to tournament next year?
He's going to.
Okay, here.